Alright guys, I have some extremely exciting news that I want to share with you, and that is the official launch of my very own supplement. I have finally brought my own ingredient to the market, and I'm extremely excited to share this with you because I know many of you have been wanting me to release this particular ingredient to the world. And so I really want to start out by saying that this is something that I've been working on for well over 5 years. In fact, I've known about this particular herb. I've studied it extensively. And so what I wanted to do was provide you guys with the highest potency and quality Catuaba extract on the market. Now, many of you are probably wondering, what is Catuaba? How does this herb work? What are some of the benefits? And we'll get into that in today's video, but I really want to start out by saying thank you guys. Thank you for enabling me to have a voice in the health optimization space. Thank you for supporting me with all of these different YouTube videos. And thank you for always supporting the algorithm, liking videos, leaving comments, and giving feedback on different supplements that you try, different health hacks, and things like that. It truly does mean the world to me. I have a goal to release a range of different supplements, but we decided to start with the very first ingredient on that list, which was a Catuaba extract, and we've called it CatuaPure. Now, my intention with this product was to design a particular supplement that could help to boost energy, libido, and also support mood. So these were the 3 key areas that I was wanting to focus on. As we go through this video, you'll soon start to realize that this particular herb, like many other herbs, you've heard me talk about Tonka Ali, you've heard me talk about Cistanch, you've heard me talk about taurine, which is not a herb, but it's another supplement that I'm a fan of. These herbs and supplements have pleiotropic effects. They have diverse effects in the human body. They don't just work on one particular pathway. They oftentimes work on many different pathways. So I'm extremely excited that this particular product is my very first product that I'm bringing to market under my new brand, In Before. So if you search www.inbeforesups.com, we'll also leave that linked in the video description. You will see that new website link. And as I said, we're starting with the first product as CatuaPure. So first of all, let's get into Catuaba. What even is Catuaba? I reckon there would be maybe 5 to 10% of my audience that's even heard of this herb before, and they've either probably tried it before or just come across it in their research. Now, as many of you know, I love to research herbal extracts. I'm a qualified naturopath. I studied 4 years full time, so I've been researching herbal medicines for a long time. I've experimented with over 100 different herbs in my lifetime, and I came across the Brazilian medicine system, and I was looking at some of the Brazilian herbs that these Brazilians and South Americans would use for specifically energy, as an aphrodisiac, and libido and things like that. So Catuaba is a herbal remedy derived from the bark of trees that are native to Brazil. So it has been used in traditional medicine for centuries, primarily in Brazilian and South American cultures. So here we can see some photos of Catuaba bark if you want to actually see the raw material. You're probably wondering now how I first heard about Catuaba. Well, I was researching different herbs. I was trying to uncover different compounds that could support the dopamine system. And we've seen compounds like mucuna pruriens. We've seen other amino acids like phenylalanine and L-tyrosine. They all work quite well, but I personally believe that Catuaba is a smoother effect. It's a non-addictive, non-habituating ingredient that can really support healthy mood. So I started giving out this particular herb to friends and family and seeing what their thoughts were on this particular ingredient. And the feedback was remarkable. Almost every single person that tried this herb reported that they were experiencing better mood, better energy, they're more social, they're more outgoing, they feel better about themselves. And it really goes back to one of its traditional sayings, which is that Catuaba is the tree of togetherness. So it's the tree of togetherness, and it brings people together. And so here are some interesting points about Catuaba that I want to share with you that I came across on some research. This one here, one of the famous quotes is, "Until death, nothing remains without Catuaba," which highlights the plant's cultural significance as a symbol of vitality and longevity. Another traditional saying, "Catuaba makes the old young again and the young never age. So that's pretty interesting there. So as traditional usages, Catuaba has been used as an aphrodisiac, like what we see with ginseng, shilajit, cistanche, a lot of these herbs, and tonkat ali, pine pollen. A lot of these herbs are aphrodisiacs, traditionally used to enhance libido and sexual performance in both men and women. So that's the other thing here, is that this first product that I'm releasing is a product that can be used by both men and women. So, it's going to rise in terms of its popularity. Obviously, with the brand name In Before, we called it In Before because we're trying to bring new ingredients in before everyone else. That's the whole point of the name, the brand name In Before. Now, Catuaba is gaining global popularity as a nootropic and adaptogen for its potential to enhance brain function, energy levels, and overall well-being. So what I want to do is actually share what some people have said about Catuaba, just in general, what they've said about Catuaba extracts that they've tried. So this guy here says, tomorrow has been 1 week with Catuaba extract. The effects: increased mood, increased social abilities, intend to smile more. It's like a social herb. I'm a more disinhibited, looking to more girls, doing more jokes. However, no effects on libido, for example, feeling more erections. Synergizes with other herbs like ginseng and ginkgo biloba. This next person said, try Catuaba tea. For me, it took away the lethargy and apathy in just 1 day. My state back then was somewhat severe. Nowadays, I feel clear-headed. I have a bigger appetite and better digestion. It's like a dopamine boost, but without euphoria. Now, obviously, this is what he's tried with his particular Catuaba. This other guy said, Catuaba, best hang of my life. And so basically, this guy was saying he's fairly new, been performing Angion for about a year with some pretty great results. If you haven't heard of it, it's a powerful bark drunk as a tea in Brazil as a nervine stimulant, aphrodisiac, and a blood vessel dilator. It's known for promoting sexual stamina and prowess. I was a little skeptical when I first tried it, but I'm not going to lie. I've had mind-blowing results while supping with it. I take about 940 milligrams with magnesium at nighttime and wake up with powerful morning wood, heavy hang and engorgement consistently throughout the day, and spontaneous erections. Also helps me to feel more relaxed since I'm a high anxiety person. The erection quality is bar none and very intense, almost like your member has the strength and power of a tree trunk. Also, the hang it provides is literally legendary, mostly due to increase in blood flow to the genital region. There's an old saying in Brazil, until 60, the sun is his. After, he belongs to Catuaba, which pretty much, you can insinuate what that means. This next guy said, and of course this is not medical advice, but what he was saying is that he's still using Catuaba every day. It convinces him to drop Vyvanse. This herb is very zen, relaxing, and focusing. It can be compared with desoxin without the adrenergic rush. Catuaba is the best anxiolytic and antidepressant I have found. I wonder if others are experiencing the same effects. Here's another report of what someone else has said about Catuaba. We can read that there. Another guy here has said good things about Catuaba. This guy here has said, Shilajit gives me a nice calm energy. Catuaba gives me a nice stimulating buzz and is great for focusing. I just have to remember to go light on the caffeine the day that I take it. Otherwise, it's too much. This guy here said, I've tried Catuaba tea a few weeks ago, not for depression, just for trying. And it gave me such a well-being state, made me euphoric, wanting to go out and just party or hang with friends and talk. Okay, when I first tried Catuaba many years ago, the effects that I personally felt was that I felt more inclined to be social, and I felt like I was more socially dominant and confident. In addition to that, when I was using Catuaba back then, I felt like I had a bit of a buzz, like I had a stimulating effect, similar to caffeine, but not as jittery. So that was what I noticed. What does the research suggest? Now, this is obviously, again, not medical advice, but I'm just looking at mechanistic studies. This is not claiming that my product will elicit these effects, but we're looking at what the science says about the herb. This study here was titled Antidepressant-like Effects of Catuaba Extract, Evidence for Dopaminergic Mediated Mechanisms. Conclusions: the present study provides convincing evidence for a dopamine-mediated antidepressant-like effect of the active principles present in Catuaba in mice and rats when in vivo and in vitro strategies were employed. Therefore, a standardized extract of Catuaba or its purified constituents could be of potential interest for the treatment of depressive disorders. This next study here was titled Anti-Nociceptive Activity of Catuaba Extract, New Evidence on its Dopaminergic Effects. And what they found here was that in the study they mentioned a significant inhibition of dopamine uptake and an increase in dopamine release by Catuaba. It is important to remark that this is not an amphetamine-like effect, since the extract of particular dosages did not significantly affect locomotor activity in rats. So it's not an amphetamine-like effect. This next study here was titled Antioxidant, Anticholinesterase, and Anti-Fatigue Effects of Catuaba, and they basically said that this data suggests that Catuaba extract as the most suitable plant for extraction and partially support the folk use of Catuaba as an anti-fatigue drug. And if you want to learn more about the alkaloids, they're called tropane alkaloids. If you Google search tropane alkaloids, you'll come across some pretty interesting alkaloids there. Another study looking at neuroprotection in rats. And so what I want to mention here is that I wanted to start with Catuaba as CatuaPure as the very first product of my whole range. And I noticed one of the main reasons was because I noticed a lot of guys were asking me questions about, Lucas, how do I optimize dopamine? What can I do for dopamine? A lot of interest has been focused on other compounds that I've spoken about: bromantane, 9-MBC, BPC-157, modafinil, L-tyrosine, phenylalanine, all these other dopamine boosters. But truly, I think many people who respond well to those will respond really well to CatuaPure. That's it from me today, guys. I'm really excited to hear what you think. For you guys to try the product, it'll be linked down below in the video description and the pinned comment. And if anyone has used Catuaba, please share your opinion on this herb below. This won't be the first time and the last time you hear me talk about this. I'll be talking about it a lot. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks everyone for such incredible support over the years. It really does mean the world to me and enables me to create fantastic supplements for the future. So that's it from me today, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.